Hello everybody. I've just come on this afternoon to show you that something that I've been making. I'm just making some ephemera ready to go for some journals, and I started watching Artymaze on her Junk the Trunk series, and she was using some cardboard journal cards, a piece of card, and then she was collaging papers onto it to make journal cards. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea, I can use my scraps up. So I started doing the same. But this is what I've ended up with. So you can see it's quite long, and it still goes on and it keeps going. So it's a long roll. Somebody said I should call it a Franken book page snippet or a book page snippet. So the back is book pages, and then the front is the scraps of paper that I've collaged onto it. If I just move that out the way, and I just show you what I've done. Once I've got my, oops, sorry, I've just bumped the camera. So once I've got my roll, and I've got quite a lot to do, I've then decided what size journal cards I want, and I cut this one at, I think it went that way. Who knows which way it went. I cut these 6.5 one way, which is about, where's my ruler? Sorry. Got my ruler, decided what size I wanted, and it doesn't matter which way you've put your papers on, because once you've cut it, you can orientate it whichever way you want. So these I've cut 6.5 deep, so that they're tall tags for a journal. That one's 4.5 wide, and then this one is about 3.25. So I've just been cutting it and then cutting the size of the journal tags that I want, and then I've got some images here that I've just been putting on to make a journal card, or some of them actually I like the look of them with nothing on, so I've just left them. Okay. So somebody asked me how I'd done it, and honestly, it is the simplest of things, and thanks to Artymaze for it. And I'll just show you quickly what I've done, what I've been doing. So this is a page from Reader's Digest. So Reader's Digest page it's about 7 inches by about 5. And all that I've done literally is, I've got my box of scraps, and I've literally just taken out pieces of paper as they've come to the top. I don't know if I'm on screen. Sorry, I don't have a very good setup for showing what I'm doing. I just use a glue stick, and then all that I've been doing is literally just randomly putting my bits and snips on. And what I intended, the first one that I did, was just to cover one of these book pages. I always slightly overlap the last piece of paper that I've done. Just push it down. And all I intended doing the first time was just to cover a book page, so that I could then maybe cut it in half and have 2 journal tags. But what happened, as I will show you with this one, as I madly glue, was when I went to put the next piece down, I thought, oh, it slightly overhangs the book page. So all that I did was get another book page. Can you see that? Line it up edge to edge, and stuck the paper down. And then I kind of thought, I could just keep going then. So that's what I did. So I've got a couple of more pieces here, and literally I haven't been looking at what kind of book pages, what paper snips I'm using. Literally all that I've been doing is sticking them on, making sure that something does cover the crack, the join in the paper, and then literally just adding as I go. You see that one already overhangs, so another piece of paper. And there it goes. And so it would go on. So just literally covering, you know, out my scrap box, whatever I've got that will cover. And if it's too big, somewhere I've got to tear, there we go, somewhere I've got a tear ruler. For Christmas I got one of these tear rulers and I really like it. So like for this one, it slightly overhangs the page, so just roughly where does it come to? I mean, I guess you don't really even have to tear them off like that, because when you cut it down, you can cut them to size anyway. So I started out by using small pieces of book page, but then as I've gone on down my scrap box, I've had some bigger pieces, and actually that it covers it quicker, obviously with larger pieces, but I really don't think it makes much difference. And it doesn't matter if you repeat a piece of paper, because as I say, once you've cut the roll, the strip, the snippet roll, the Franken roll down, it will, you can it doesn't matter whether you stick them upside down, whichever way, it really doesn't matter. And then those, I've just done 3 sheets of paper there on the back, so it doesn't matter which way you cut it. You know, if you wanted a big tag or you wanted a small tag. I find most of my tags, I perhaps want it to be about 4 inches wide, so I just measure 4 inches and cut it. So that tag then is about 4 by about 7. I probably don't want it 7 inches, so I would cut some off the other end. So 7, so I could have, so if I did that 3.5 and 3.5, I would have a couple of smaller cards. The glue's still a bit tacky. And they look completely different. And then, as I say, if you want to decorate them and put an image in them, then obviously you can. But some of them, depending on where you cut them, they look very nice on their own. I mean, this one with the dragonfly, I think that might be from Tracy Fox, one of her papers. And then there's a little bit of Artymaze paper there, and it's just literally snips that I've made. So that is my very long piece, and as you can see, I've used all sorts, and the pages are on the back. So, you know, if you wanted to, you can sew coffee dyed paper onto the back of them when you've cut them to size. And that's what I've been doing for my Saturday. So I just thought you might like to have a quick look at what I did and how I've been doing it. And it's just a couple of people on Instagram were asking me. And so I thought I would just pop on and see. So I'm sorry if this is a bit disjointed, but hopefully you like the results. Give it a try. I'd love to see if you did. Any comments, I would be more than happy to answer. Thank you very much for stopping by. Bye.